This is Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Senior. Today's show presented by Vincero Collective. If you want to look like a baller without having to spend money to be a baller, get hooked up with our promo code CHAT at vincerocollective.com/chat. Stylish watches that are of the utmost premium quality for affordable prices, and we have a deal that's phenomenal for the Fly Eagles Fly family. 20% off, free shipping, promo code CHAT. Using that link down below, we'll tell you more about them coming up around the corner. Before we dive into your questions for an upcoming Eagles mailbag, just another reminder. We're live right now on Philadelphia Eagles Now. For those of you who are missing out on our live show, bad job by you. But you can make up for that by joining us for a watch party Monday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings. Subscribe by hitting that red sub button down below. Come hang out with us. We'll be doing some live play-by-play, taking your questions, interacting with the audience, deleting some beers. It's going to be a party because we put the party in watch party. Can't wait for Monday Night Football. We begin this mailbag with this one coming in from Shady Sports Network. Would you like to see an uptick in the 5-2 fronts given the depth of interior at that defensive line spot? That's a really good question, and honestly, you're bringing the heat with that question. The 5-2 front, I think, is advantageous for a couple of reasons because the Eagles do have the dogs along the defensive line to feature that five-man front, especially with Hassan Reddick now on this team. Now, I saw some people talking about how Hassan Reddick kind of cancels out Fletcher Cox. I totally disagree. Utilize, and this is what I said at the time of the signing, Hassan Reddick as a weapon on defense. If he needs to drop back in pass coverage, that's fine. He can do that, but he's best with just attacking and staying on the attack as a blitzer. So utilize your personnel to your advantage. And honestly, against the Detroit Lions, Shady Sports, I thought that the Eagles actually got home and played well on a couple of those blitzes that Jonathan Gannon sent. But last year, the Eagles were among some of the least teams that actually blitzed in the National Football League. And I understand that as teams spread things out, defenses have countered with also spreading their defenses out and not blitzing. But at times, you got to be aggressive. And that's kind of the backbone of this defense. And if you're looking at analytics, sometimes it doesn't tell the full story. So to answer your question, yeah, and I'd like to see this Eagles defense be a little bit more aggressive. Zoom J is next. Let's see what you got. In terms of Adam Thielen, do you think the Eagles will lock him down or will Justin Jefferson draw away attention from him? You know what? Look, Darius Slay is a Pro Bowl corner, but I'm not sure there are many cornerbacks in the NFL who can actually lock down Justin Jefferson. I mean, he straight up went off against the Green Bay Packers in Week 1. And since he's come into the league, this guy has caused so much havoc for opposing defenses. And it's funny because the Eagles envision Jalen Reagor as that speed option who could play outside, and Justin Jefferson is more of a slot. Justin Jefferson can do anything. But when Jefferson is on the field and so much attention is attracted to him, that allows Adam Thielen to really play well. Now, for Thielen, he hasn't played a lot the last couple of years because, unfortunately for him, he's been injured. But I think that Jonathan Gannon is going to allow Darius Slay on an island to match up with Justin Jefferson, which could then allow Adam Thielen to have a big couple of catches. And then maybe after that, that's when he gives some protection and some more security on that side of the field. But I think they go one-on-one across the board to see how their dogs match up with the Vikings dogs and Darius Slay and James Bradberry. Pascal, if we fire Gannon, who comes next? Eagles greetings from Germany. We're international on the show. Let's ride. Let me know where you're watching this show from right now down below in the comment section. Look, so a lot of people have talked about Vic Fangio. He grew up in Scranton, 2 hours directly north of Philadelphia, worked there for a couple of years at WNEP in Scranton. And I like Vic Fangio. I think he's one of the best defensive minds in the NFL. Obviously, right now he's jobless. Where I do have some hesitations is that traditionally he has run a 3-4 front. And the 3-4 front, I prefer a 4-3 because I think it allows you to get after the passer a little bit better. That's just my philosophy on the defensive side of the ball. And if Vic Fangio were to go 3-4, you kind of have to change your personnel. And with Billy Davis and Chip Kelly, that's what the Eagles did a couple of years ago when Chip got hired, and Brandon Graham and Trent Cole were dropping back in coverage. That's what I don't want to see. You have to overhaul your defensive personnel. So for me, I prefer 4-3, but can Vic Fangio run a 4-3 defense, even though it might be different than what he does? He'd probably be the most sought-after defensive coordinator out there. That's the guy I'd think about hitting up because those Bears defenses were great. Didn't work out as a head coach, but that's a name that I'll certainly keep an eye on. As I mentioned off the top of the show, Philadelphia Eagles Now, presented by the fine folks at Vincero Collective, a brand new sponsor here at Chat Sports. And you can finally look like a baller without having to spend like a baller. But if you're watching the show, there's a good chance you're going to win your fantasy football league this year. You might as well look good all year long instead of waiting for that championship payout to get one of these watches, one of the watches that I'm rocking right now. And with over 30,000 five-star reviews featured in places like Forbes, Business Insider, Newsweek, just to name a few, Vincero offers you a shopping experience that you can trust. And if you need to return or swap, absolutely no problem at all. Really, for me, there are three words that come to mind when I think about their products: stylish, quality, versatility. Vincero designs everything in-house, sources their own materials, and produces in small batches, and they are committed to doing things well or not doing them at all. And these watches, all of them that were popping up on your screen, they are stylish, they are affordable, they are durable, they are high quality for very good prices. But Vincero can only offer this big of a discount for a limited time. So don't wait or it'll be too late. Get 20% off by using our promo code CHAT. That's key here. And free shipping site-wide at vincerocollective.com/chat. Support our show and use the code CHAT at VINCERO collective.com to be a winner. You have to dress the part, and that's where Vincero Collective steps in. We continue to move forward with our mailbag. Captain Dale Burt sent us a super chat earlier. Greatly appreciate you. How many sacks will Jordan Davis get? Never been a big sack guy. I mean, even at Georgia, he was more of a run stopper. And the issue that a lot of draft evaluators had with Jordan Davis coming out of Georgia, they thought that he was only really a 2-down player, not a 3-down player. And I'm not really sure where I stand on that. I want to see more from Jordan Davis to see if that conditioning level allows him to be more of that 3-down guy. Now, you have two really good defensive tackles. Javon Hargrave coming off the career year. Fletcher Cox, I still think can play, but I want to see Jordan Davis get substituted in more to see how he holds up against the pass, how he does against the run. When he was on the field against the Lions, Detroit averaged less than 3 yards per carry. When he was off the field, more than 6 yards per carry. I think he can really help out this defense. Jonathan Gannon, play him more. Peyton Peacock is coming at you right now. Not that it matters, but do you think the Cowboys will sign Cam Newton? I don't think so. Now that the timeline has kind of been knocked down for Dak Prescott, 6 to 8 weeks initially. Now Jerry Jones, who's getting a little bit weird as he gets a little bit older, saying about 4 weeks. I think that they're just going to go with Cooper Rush, their backup quarterback, to start over the next month or so. We'll see if Dak Prescott ends up playing against Philadelphia later on this year, I believe in week 6, but I think the Cowboys don't sign Cam Newton. I think he's washed. Completion percentage has been garbage pretty much throughout his entire NFL career. Marvelous 2015 MVP campaign. I think they're going Cooper Rush, and they don't even make a trade out there. Blue, what do you think we have to do to stop Justin Jefferson of the Vikings? Darius Slay has to play a really good game. I thought the touchdown that he gave up against G.J. Chark was actually really good coverage, blanket coverage. It was just a fantastic throw from Jared Goff, who when he drops back is able to put some really good touch on the football. When the going gets tough, that's when Jared Goff isn't all that good. But Darius Slay, the coverage was step for step with D.J. Chark. But for some of those plays against the Vikings and a player like Justin Jefferson, you got to win those 50-50 balls. And that's really what it comes down to, is winning those 50-50 balls. Marcus Epps, C.J. Gardner-Johnson maybe coming through with some shade across the top in the formation to give Darius Slay some help. But Justin Jefferson is filthy, and my goodness, with Jalen Reagor's return to Philadelphia with the Minnesota Vikings, it makes it hurt even more that the Eagles drafted Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. Speaking of this game, who you got in this matchup. Monday Night Football, another reminder, watch party coming your way on Monday night. PHI for the Birds, MIN for the Minnesota Vikings. Get those game predictions into the comment section right now. Elijah, he's a real OG, sending in some big super chats. Who should we pick up to fill Barnett's depth spot? So, look, I'm all for, JPP, Tack McKinley, I'm kind of out on. Everson Griffin, a decent name. They did sign Janarius Robinson off the Vikings practice squad, and he has officially taken Derek Barnett's spot on this roster. We'll see kind of what happens this week. If they lack that pass rush and they get a little bit desperate, maybe they do go after a guy like JPP to give them some of that pass rush protection. Iron Mizzle, a real OG. I heard Big Ben to the Cowboys, LMAO, and how many games till we fire Gannon. Big Ben is not going to go to the Cowboys, nor does Dallas want Ben Roethlisberger because his elbow has been zapped over the last couple of years, failing to put anything behind the football. No mustard at all. How many games till we fire Gannon? Honestly, with a team that has these types of aspirations, if the defense continues to struggle in the first month of the year, get him out of here. Pivot. Kara Poole, big supporter of what we do. Did you hear that Jalen Reagor said there is some revenge for this game? I did, Kara, and I'm wondering what type of revenge he's talking about. We drafted you in the first round. You didn't produce. You didn't play well. You didn't pop. Are you complaining that fans were annoyed that your production wasn't there? I mean, shoot, this is the city of Philadelphia. Not everybody can play in the city of brotherly love. Daryl Morey even said it. Like, we have to look for players. He said in a recent interview with John Clark that actually can play in Philadelphia and have the mental fortitude to do so, unlike Ben Simmons. I'll put Jalen Reagor in that type of category. Just couldn't deal with the heat. What type of revenge, though, Reagor? I mean, he had one punt return in week 1. Wasn't even a part of this Vikings offense. We'll see. But in classic Eagles fashion, they've gotten burnt by no-name wide receivers in the past. It wouldn't surprise me if Reagor actually scores a tutty at Lincoln Financial Field. Donnell, what's good, my brother? If Hurts takes a step like McNabb, then I think we will win at least 2 Super Bowls. Do you agree? I do think that Jalen Hurts is an incredibly unique quarterback talent. In week 1, I saw him clean up his mechanics. I thought that he looked a little bit cleaner as a passer. Some of the dropbacks just looked more fluid than what they did last year. And then some of the other ones looked a little bit sloppy. But as he continues to kind of work through those things, like missing Kenneth Gainwell toward the goal line in the flat, that's a throw. Get the snap, 1 step, fire it. Instead, he took 2. It was a little bit too long, then he threw it into the ground. Like, those are the types of things that he has to work on. But Donnell, you make a good point. Like when McNabb came in to replace Doug Peterson, and we knew that was going to happen, that replacement at some point, you saw the athletic ability. He made some dudes shake and miss. He made some fantastic throws. And then, that year that they took on the Rams in the NFC Championship game, what was that, 2001, that's when he took that next step. If Jalen Hurts can take that next step, the Eagles have a roster that can compete for a Super Bowl. 2, that's lofty. I'll take 1, but 2, my goodness, we will celebrate all night on Philadelphia Eagles now. $10 Super Chat coming in from Elijah. Last question in this mailbag, revenge, LOL. Exactly. That's exactly what I thought when it came down to Jalen Reagor saying that. Make sure you subscribe, turn on those noties. This is Philadelphia Eagles now. Our goal by the end of the season, 50,000 subs. Lock us in. Hit that red sub button right now.